Meteorologist Tim Root with your KLEK 102.5 forecast. A wind advisory in effect for winds up to 40 miles per hour from the northwest today. Clouds and showers and maybe a rumble of thunder. Temperatures in the mid to upper 60s. Clouds and showers overnight, windy at times. Overnight temperature 25. Friday should be mostly sunny in the mid 30s. Northwest wind 10 to 15. It'll be in the 30s with sunshine for Saturday. Snow, sleet, and freezing rain Saturday night, and occasional rain in the 40s Sunday. Your life, your music, we're KLEK 102.5 FM.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Kevin Ozebek. UK Prime Minister Theresa May will be in Brussels to try and tweak the Brexit divorce deal. However, EU officials aren't holding out much hope for a solution following a war of words over the past couple of days. India is seeing a spike in swine flu cases. So far this year, about 6,700 cases of swine flu have been reported. And last year was the fourth hottest on record, according to NASA scientists.
It's 9:01.
KLEK LP Jonesboro, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council. It's now time for Community Conversations, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place, while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of KLEK 102.5 FM, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council, or our underwriters or sponsors.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Thursday to you. I hope that you're having a great start to your day. You're tuned in to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. I'm your host, Quabila Jones, and my special guest today is the president of the Cricket County NAACP. I'm so sorry. Lost my train of thought right quick. Mrs. Emma Agnew, thank you for joining me this morning.
Thank you.
And so today we're going to be talking about some things that I'm sure you have seen somewhere in the news or on social media. Arkansas, there's a proposal to bring the Stand Your Ground law to Arkansas. Mm-hmm. And so please tell us, what does that entail? There was a hearing, public hearing, Tuesday in Little Rock?
Yes.
Okay, and I don't know how many people from here have gone. I've been trying to look for some feedback on mine. Timeline, but I haven't seen any feedback so far. But tell us what the law states and what it could mean for Arkansas or for us in general.
Well, first of all, good morning to everyone. The Stand Your Ground law was put on hold yesterday. And the gentleman that's sponsoring the bill said he wanted to amend it. He plans to make some amendments to it. He's not withdrawing it. Mm-hmm. He's planning to make amendments to it because he's gotten so much feedback from people opposed to the way it was written and opposed to it in general. So he's trying to satisfy some of that by making certain amendments to it, and we can get into that a little bit later on if you want. But the Arkansas Sheriff's Association was one group that opposed it.
Okay.
And they're opposing it because they see it as just really making their job more difficult. And I don't know how the police association feels about it. I know Chief Yates was on yesterday or the day before or something.
Chief Elliott.
You know
I
what?
forgot to ask him about that.
You know what? He has been chief now, I don't know for how long. And I still refer to him as Chief Yates sometimes. And I know him well. I didn't know Chief Yates that well. I knew Chief Yates' reputation, but I didn't know him personally that well. But Chief Elliott, if you're listening, I am so sorry. I know your name very well. I don't know why I do that. But anyway, please accept my apology. Chief Elliott. But I'm not sure how the police association, it didn't mention the police, but I understand law enforcement in general is opposed to it. And here's basically what the bill is. This is the bill in the state of Florida that the security guard that shot and killed Trayvon Martin took defense under.
Oh, and there was also another incident in Florida.
Oh, there have been several under Stand Your Ground. And what it does is it allows folk to physically protect themselves if they feel they're being threatened. So generally what happens is, in the climate that the country is in right now, and particularly in the South, everywhere really, but particularly in the South, it is not a good law, particularly for African American men.
Okay.
Because we know that a lot of times white folk just feel threatened by African American men. I mean, we used to say driving while black, now it's walking while black. If you're walking down the street and they feel threatened that you're going to do something to them, then this law protects them to do whatever. And that's what they claim is, they say, I felt threatened. And they are able to protect themselves under this stand your ground law. Now, I was talking with a young man a couple of days ago, a young black male. And I'll talk about the situation because he doesn't live in Jonesboro, and I don't think he even knows anything about KLEK, so I know he's not listening. But I had posted something on Facebook. He's one of my Facebook friends. And so his thing was, I think it's a good thing. I think stand your ground is a good thing, because if I see someone trying to steal my car, I'm going to shoot him. Well, he's a young man who, drives a Mercedes. Okay. I know him personally. And, but my thing is, would you actually shoot somebody for trying to steal your car? You're not feeling personally threatened. You wouldn't get away with that. I mean, so if you think this law gives you protection for someone trying to steal your car or just do something, that's not threatening you. If you come up on someone who's trying to steal your car and just shoot them, you go into jail, most likely. But, what I said to him was, I'm really surprised that you feel that way, since you are a rather large young black man. Mm-hmm. This is a young black man, probably less than 30, and he's a big fellow. And, but there's a lot of misconception. I think we as black people, we really need to educate ourselves and be mindful that everything is not as it appears. Okay. You already have rights to protect yourself. If someone breaks in your house, mm-hmm. and you feel threatened for you and your family, if someone breaks in your house, then you have a right to protect yourself. That's already there. Okay. So we're going beyond that, Quabila. We're just going beyond that.
All right. I want to read a statement I found. This was on one news site. This is Arkansas Times. This was published December 20th of 2018. I'm sure there's been many more articles posted since then. But it lists the representative's name who filed the bill. And it says, should I read his name?
Yeah, you can read his name. I won't give him his name, his phone number, his address, and everything else before we leave here.
All right, so Representative Aaron Pilkington. Mm-hmm. This was in December. He filed a bill to enact a so-called stand your ground law, which would expand the circumstances under which a person could use deadly force in defense of self or others, even if there was an option to exit the situation without resorting to violence. Mm-hmm. So, at that time, as it was written, even if you felt like if there was an exit strategy, if there was an exit possible, people still have the right to use deadly violence if they so choose.
Now, that's one of the things that he's amending. Okay. Because a lot, law enforcement especially objected to that. If people have a option to flee or to leave, you feel threatened, but you have an option to leave and not be in that situation, the police want you to leave. But the way this law was written, that was okay. You could still use deadly violence. Mm-hmm. And so that's one of the things that he's taking out. Okay. Is that that if you are able to flee, then you should. So he's hoping to make it a little more palatable to law enforcement.
Okay.
But my understanding is law enforcement is against it, period.
Yes, I'm sure this will definitely make
because it kind of sounds like it, could become the Wild Wild West.
I mean, we saw outside of the Trayvon Martin case, we saw, I don't know how many people saw the other story that happened in Florida. A man approached a lady. I don't even know, he was even one of this. It was at a gas station, and that area was known for a crime and incidents happening. Long story short, the driver parked in a handicap or just in the wrong place. And so this other man pulled in and decided to confront the person that was in the car.
Right.
But when the lady's husband came out the store, they got into a verbal, and then the man pushed him. And then the one that got pushed on the ground ended up shooting the other gentleman. So he used the same defense, basically was standing his ground. So I can see how this can get out of hand. Again, like you said, if someone just feels threatened and they're in their feelings, their ego is bruised, then they're going to use whatever force necessary.
Yeah, because it's already legal to carry a gun.
Yes.
So that's already legal. I believe it's concealed and carry in Arkansas. It's not open carry, but I mean, it's legal. So you could very well have a gun in the back of your pants or, front of your pants, wherever, in your purse or whatever. So it's not far-fetched to just see people, as you say, getting mad, feelings hurt, and not really fearing for their life.
Okay.
But being angry, somebody did something to them. I mean, maybe somebody even hits you. You don't fear for your life if somebody hits you. They may be wrong, but you're not fearing for your life. So this bill makes it easy. If you get into an altercation with someone, then if you shoot them, you can claim that you felt threatened, that you feared for your life.
I want to pose this question. We often see, and not just in Jonesboro, Arkansas, all over the nation, when it comes to individuals who commit crimes, I'm going to just bring it to Jonesboro. No particular case, but say someone's in a club, they get upset, they get into a verbal altercation, they take it outside, and someone, like you said, pulls a gun. So in that case, even though I know it's a little different, I'm trying to word this right, someone in that case could also try to use that as a defense. They could say they felt threatened, and that was their only option, was to shoot. I personally, I'm going to say this, so please listen. I am not against gun ownership. I personally don't want to own a gun. That's my personal preference. However, I do feel there needs to be some reform to the current laws when it comes to obtaining guns. Please hear me, people. I don't want you to have your guns taken away. I just want to see more restrictions on people getting them. I want to see more reform, something done to kind of shut down these black markets and private sales and what have you.
It's legal to buy guns that you don't need to protect yourself. I'm like you. I'm not totally against someone buying a gun to protect themselves, but you don't need an AK-47 to protect yourself and your property. So, a handgun, rifle, shotgun, something like that is enough to protect yourself. But, but I'm like you. I don't own a gun. I don't know how to shoot a gun. I may have held a gun, but I'm not a gun person. To me, I don't believe in taking another person's life that way.
No. So I hope that the residents of Arkansas, go look this up and read it for yourself. Not go on what someone else says, the bill says, and decipher it and decide how you feel about it, and contact this representative or anyone in the state State House.
Yeah, it is House Bill 1059.
Okay.
House Bill 1059, and it's for an act concerning the use of physical force in self-defense or in the defense of others and for other purposes. And as I told you, I'm going to give you this gentleman's contact information to sponsor the bill. As I say, it's on hold right now.
Okay.
He's reworking it to try to make it more pleasing to law enforcement. If I can find it, I'm not sure I put it in here.
I would like to see how he plans to do that. I don't know.
Yeah. His name is Aaron, Aaron Pilkington. His address is 200 Hilltop Drive, Clarksville, Arkansas, 72830. His phone number, and I'll give it again if Quabila reminds me, it's area code 479-308-8384, and his email is aaron.pilkington@arkansashouse.org. And all of this is public record because he is an elected official, so I'm not giving out this man's private information illegally. This is public record. He is an elected official, and this is how you get in touch with him. I would suggest sending him an email or calling his office. And just let him know that you think this bill is a bad idea. But like Quabila said, read it first, so when you talk to someone in the office, you can talk intelligently about it. Please educate yourselves. You can look it up online, House Bill 1059, Arkansas State Legislature. And look it up and read through it. Like I said, he is making some amendments to it. It's not a long bill. It's like 2 pages. Oh. Well, no, 1, 2. I'm sorry, it's front and back. 3-page bill, so it's not long. Okay. And it's not hard to read and hard to understand it. So I suggest you read it for yourself and then call or email. And you don't have to go into a long discourse. Please be civil and intelligent when you contact him, and just let him know you think it's a bad idea, and here's why I think it's a bad idea. And that's enough said.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And again, I think everyone, we need to, and not just with this bill, but everything that's going through the House. Mm-hmm. I mean, the legislation and the state capitol. Right. We need to be more aware of things that are going on. Mm-hmm. And we've invited several of our representatives. So far, the one that has been the most responsive is Senator John Cooper. Okay. And so, we try to have him on as regular as possible when they're not in session. Mm-hmm. And so hopefully we can get him in here sometime in March to talk about some, current proposals and bills or things that are being discussed. But at the same time, everything is listed on the Arkansas.gov page.
Yeah, Arkansas. Yeah, and you want to just look up the Arkansas legislature is what I Google. And one thing the NAACP is trying to do is get people to attend the session the next time this bill comes up. We feel that if we can pack the room, just our presence speaks volumes. So people who are able to go, of course the hours are usually during the day. Okay. So people who are able to go, we'll try to keep you informed. If we have to send a public announcement to KLEK or whatever, and we can carpool together or travel together or whatever. And if you want to speak, you need to be there a little early and register to speak. But you are allowed to speak against it if you desire.
And I think this is a time that we need to start, especially in the minority community, start banding together, because there are a lot of things that affect us and we don't know about until after the fact. Mm-hmm. And then we are upset, but we need to just, with the age of technology that we're in now, we have access to almost anything that's out there. True. So we need to start educating ourselves, our children, our family, neighbors, everyone, and start taking a stand against things that we do not agree with,
absolutely,
or things that we are for. We need to also voice our opinion, because sometimes there are things that go through the House that could benefit us, but we don't know about it, and then it gets shut down, voted down. So on both ends, we need to really start educating ourselves a lot more.
Yeah, and this is, this gentleman, Pilkington, I was reading an article last night, and he seemed very upset that people were waiting until the last minute to speak out. He said this bill has been out since December, and people wait until the last minute to, have something to say. Well, that's just too bad. Until it passes, people have the right to speak out. So don't be intimidated or whatever. Until this bill passes or fails, you have a right to speak out against it. Call him, email him, or whatever. Don't matter how late it is.
Okay. I want to say good morning to a couple of people. Miss Chelsea says, look at this sunshine on a cloudy day. Good morning, my loves. Good morning, Miss Chelsea.
Good morning, Chelsea.
And then Miss Lachey says, good morning, Q and Mrs. Emma. And
good morning.
Good morning to Mrs. Maddie Warren, and whoever else is out there watching
good morning.
And listening. We want to thank you all for tuning in, and I hope that you're taking notes and taking this information to heart. So please contact this representative to discuss your stand, your position on this bill, and hopefully he will take this to heart, or your comments to heart. Again, like Ms. Emma said, just be intelligent and cordial, but still present your information to him so that he can have that to go on.
Yeah, be firm with your information, though.
Okay.
Be cordial, but be firm.
All right. And so, Ms. Lachey, I'll put the contact information in, and then Ms. Rebecca Laura Evans says, thank you, Ms. Emma, for your leadership in our community.
Thank you.
All right, so we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue talking about this, and we also will get into a discussion on the MLK Street proposal. So stay tuned. We'll be right back after these announcements.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
Do you think of yourself as the leader of your family? I'm Mark Merrill with today's Family Minute. Great leaders build strong families. Here are 3 tools to help you lead your family well. Tool 1, love. Loving your spouse and kids is the key to building a stronger family. Love must be your highest priority. You must love your family well to lead your family well. Tool 2, serve. Serving your family and putting their needs above your own shows you want to help them succeed in whatever they're doing. Tool 3, care. Provide for their needs and protect them physically and emotionally. Lead your family by loving, serving, and caring. For more, go to markmerrill.com. And remember, your family first.
Want to go deeper on this topic? Just go to markmerrill.com to download the Family First podcast.
Family Minute is made possible by the Kappa Nu Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, a non-profit organization committed to service to all mankind. Kappa Nu Omega Alpha Kappa Alpha on Facebook and KNOMEGA1908.com.
Family Minute is brought to you by the Gears Foundation, a nonprofit organization providing students with assistance in their academic and career pursuits. Gears Foundation on Facebook, Gears_Inc. on Instagram, and the Gears Foundation at gmail.com.
Calling all women and minority business owners as well as the general public. KLEK 102.5 FM presents the 2019 Women and Minority Business Showcase, Saturday, February 16th from noon until 6 at Centennial Hall in the Arkansas State University Student Union. Live broadcast on KLEK and on Facebook. This is your opportunity to show what your business, church, or organization has to offer to the unique, diverse audience of KLEK listeners, supporters, and the Jonesboro community as a whole, or to just check out all the vendors in attendance. Vendor registration is $25, $50 if you sell items on site, and you can register at klekfm.org, but you must register by February 4th. Free admission to attend. The KLEK Women and Minority Business Showcase is sponsored by the Arkansas State University Office of Diversity and Community Engagement, Full Sun Gifts, and Bancorp South. This event is a KLEK fundraiser.
House of Details, located at 3915 East Highland in Jonesboro, is a proud supporter of KLEK, offering detailing on any type of vehicle: basic wash, hand wash, shampoo, interior cleaning, waxing, buffering, headlight restoration, pickup, delivery, and more, with the motto of anything mean we can clean. Details at 870-273-5187. House of Details on Facebook and at klekfm.org.
Hello, I'm Officer Victoria Evans. I have always had a desire to help others in need and to be an example and role model to young women by encouraging them to never give up on their dreams. My dream was to become a police officer and to serve my community. In 2016, that dream became a reality, and it is the most rewarding experience of my life. Now I want to let you know about the same opportunity. The Jonesboro Police Department will conduct testing every month for patrol officers. Applications are available online at jonesboropolice.com or at the Police Department, 1001 South Caraway Work. The Jonesboro Police Department offers a competitive salary, health, and retirement benefits, top-of-the-line training, and most importantly, the chance to make a difference in the Jonesboro community. Join me in making Jonesboro a better place. The Jonesboro Police Department is an equal opportunity employer, and women and minorities are especially encouraged to apply. More information is available at 870-935-5657.
KLEK 102.5 FM wants to be active in the community. If you or your organization is hosting a community service event, we would like to know about it and be a part of it. KLEK will promote your event on air, online, and on social media. KLEK personalities may also attend the event and provide music and or entertainment. Certain restrictions and availability may apply. If you or your organization would like to partner with KLEK to make the Jonesboro community a better place, call 870-277-1080 or email us at klek@klekfm.org. In order for a community announcement or church announcement to be aired on KLEK 102.5 FM, we ask that the announcement be sent at minimum 1 week in advance. Thank you for supporting KLEK 102.5 FM.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
All right, welcome back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. My special guest today is Mrs. Emma Agnew, the president of the Craighead County NAACP. And I think I'm not saying the full title, so please forgive me. Is there more to the title? NAACP chapter or?
Craighead County.
Okay,
yeah.
Craighead County NAACP.
Yeah.
All right, so in the first part of the show, in case you missed anything, we were talking about the Stand Your Ground bill that was proposed by Representative Aaron Pilkington. Right now, it is on hold as far as making a decision, and so because there are some amendments that are being made, but we want you all to be informed of what the bill says. Please go look it up. You can go to, I just had the website, but if you type in Arkansas legislature.
I have problems with that word.
And there's a page that pops up, and you can just type in the House bill, which is 1059, and it will pull up the information. You can read through it, and I would advise you to print it off and read it line for line and highlight, circle, make notes, whatever you like to do.
Yeah, and I will even do better than that. I have a couple of copies, hard copies here. I will leave them with Quibila.
Okay.
So those of you who don't have access to internet,
we'll be happy to make you a copy.
Right. You can feel free to come by here and have whoever's here to just make you a copy of it.
We'll definitely do that. So.
It's very important. I can't say that enough. It's very important that this not pass anywhere, but really in the state of Arkansas.
And what I would also advise you to do, read other stories, find other archive stories of how this has affected other communities that have this law in place.
Yeah, and this sometime this month, and I don't remember what date, but Trayvon Martin would have been 24 years old
this week.
This week, I know it was sometime this month. He would have been 24 years old, and so I think the timing is very appropriate for us to stand our ground and say no, we do not want this in the state of Arkansas. Yeah, I'm not sure what prompted him to, submit this bill or write this bill, but we want to send a loud, strong no. We do not want this bill in the state of Arkansas. And if you need to call and email more than one time, feel free.
All right. And I have the information pinned on our Facebook Live feed, so please take that information down. And if you missed any of the video, go back and watch the early parts of the video. But again, you can look that information up for yourself. And I'll post the website link in our Facebook Live feed. So, all right, the next item on our list is the NAACP is submitting a proposal to have a street named after Dr. Martin Luther King. And so tell us more about how this came about, where you are in the process, and what are the next steps.
Well, we at the NAACP just feel it's time.
Okay.
It's past time that Dr. King be honored in Jonesboro with a street named in his honor.
Okay.
And it has been on the table before, and it didn't pass council. They decided to name an overpass after Dr. King, and that overpass is on, I think it's the Caraway Bridge.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
And it's just an overpass over a bridge. But we feel that Dr. King, while we're thankful and grateful for that, we believe that we know that Dr. King is deserving of so much more than an overpass. And so this was, I guess about 10 years ago, may have been longer ago than that, but it's been a long time ago. So we do want to revisit it.
Okay.
And we're hoping that enough change has come that we can revisit this. And so what we're doing right now, we have not presented anything or talked to the city at all about it at this point. But what we're doing now is we have formed a committee that's actually examining what street that we would like to ask for be renamed for Dr. King. And with a couple of options, A, B, and C maybe of streets that we would like to have named in his honor. And decide on which one we want to ask for, and then go from there. And then after that, we plan to, we'll have a meeting with the mayor and talk to him about it, get him on board. The mayor did promise us a street.
Okay.
Several years ago at the MLK celebration. I remember it very well. He even came in, had somebody come in with the street sign already made up that the next available street would be named for Dr. King.
Oh.
And that hasn't happened yet, so we're going to remind him of that. And if he or some of his staff are listening, you can tell him that we plan to remind him of that. But we're going to schedule a meeting with him to make sure he's on board with us, or to get on board with it. And from there, we will be having the proper resolution filed, asking that the street be named. And it's just a matter of the mayor and the city council passing it.
Okay.
I've talked with the people at the state level, and they say they have nothing to do with the renaming of it. It's totally up to your local government whether or not they name the street. So we're going to be requesting that our local government honor Dr. King by having a street in his honor.
And another thing I want to point out, and I've said this, especially during election time when we had the local officials come in, or candidates come in, go to your city council meetings, look on the jonesboro.gov website and find out what's on the agenda. You can find out what's on the agenda for upcoming meetings and make plans to go to the meetings so you can voice your concerns.
Yes. And
you get a few minutes after the meeting to talk. However, if you contact your alderman, I keep saying alderman, your city council person, there's a possibility that that topic can be on the agenda and have more time to be discussed. So it's going to take us, the community, to, again, be more active.
Yeah. And one thing that we do want, and we're going to be requesting, is that when they prepare to vote on the street, we know there's going to be opposition to it. People, oppose it because they, say they don't want to change the name of the business address, and it's a inconvenience and a headache and expensive and all of that. And some folks say they don't want their business or their home on a street named for Dr. King and all of that. But they had to change the name of their business for Red Wolf Boulevard. They had to change the name of their business for Marion Berry Parkway and any other street that has been renamed. So that's not a real reason, because you're going to have to change the name of your street address. And as far as not wanting to be located on a street named for MLK, all I can say is then you need to move. If that street becomes named Dr. MLK and you don't want to be on the street named for him, you just need to move. That's not a reason not to name it. So that's that. But we do have petitions. Okay. We hope we don't need petitions. A petition is not required to have the street renamed. But we want that as a backup plan.
Okay. And we actually have one here.
Yeah, and I brought a couple of extras too. So you can stop by here when you pick up your copy of the House bill, sign the petition to rename a street for Dr. King. If you've already signed it, do not sign it again. We don't want double signatures. But we're going to use these petitions as a backup. So if we do run into issues with people showing up and speaking out against it, we can point to the crowd in the room, because there will be a crowd, right? Mm-hmm. Yes,
all right,
there will be a crowd. And we can say, in addition to this crowd, we have over 1,000 signatures of people who disagree, who would like to see a street named in honor of Dr. King. Yeah. So we're asking you to sign it. It's a precaution. It's a backup plan. We're trying to think ahead and, have some reinforcements, but we may not need it, but we don't want that to be a reason for you not to sign it, because we may very well need it. Okay. We are in Jonesboro, Arkansas, so we may very well need to produce several hundred folk who are in favor of a street named after Dr. King.
And again, I just want to encourage people, start attending these meetings. There are a lot of things that are discussed at city council meetings, and decisions are being made on your behalf, whether you are for or against it. So
that's right.
You need to be aware of what's being discussed. No, they don't vote on something the first time it's read. However, it may pass through to get read another time, or may get shut down to again be amended or whatever, rewritten. Yeah. But again, we need to be more aware. If we the citizens of Jonesboro say we want a better Jonesboro, we want to see some improvements, no matter what side of town you live on, you need to be proactive in what's happening.
And know who your city council representatives are. That is very important, and you need to stay in touch with them. Know what ward you live in, and that's on the website as well. Yes. Find out what ward you live in and who your city council representatives are. And then on issues that affect you or concern you, call your representative and tell them that this is a concern for you. If you can't make it to council meetings, if you don't want to go to council meetings, at least call your council representative and talk to him. But Quabila is absolutely right. It is very important that we start showing up to council meetings. And, I'm guilty also, but I'm going to do better now that I'm in a new role. We have to stay informed about what's going on in our community, and the best way to do that is to go to city council meetings. They're going to pass resolutions and laws and rules, whether you're there or not. And as she alluded to, you do have time to speak. If you want to speak out against something or for something, they do allow a little time after meetings for individuals to do that. So I would encourage you to do that as well if you feel so led, but you don't have to. A lot of times, just being there, the city council meetings, the attendees is not very diverse. That's the best way I can say it. So we need to bring a little more diversity. They meet on the first and third Tuesday of the month at, it's been a long time since I attended one. I think it's 5:30.
Okay.
At 5:30. So plan to attend at least once a month if you don't want to go twice a month.
Okay.
I think you'll be fascinated. Sometimes they're over in a short period of time, 45 minutes, less than an hour. And then other times, depending on what's on the agenda and discussions, they may last a couple of hours. But you're free to come and go as you please.
Okay.
So if you need to get home and fix dinner or finish dinner, then you're free to get up and leave. But we do need to diversify that city council meeting. Let our councilman and our mayor know that color does matter. Well, I didn't say that right. It doesn't matter, but that color is concerned about what's going on, and what we are concerned about matters.
Amen.
So please show up.
All right, we have another shout out. Good morning to Miss Sean, to Sean Brewer. I apologize. And they said, "Amen, Mrs. Emma, just move." And they want to know, where can they get the petition, find the petition. We have one here in the studio, Sean, but outside of us, where else can someone?
Well, several of the NAACP members have them, but I have them at my office. I'm at 311 Huntington, right at the corner of Madison and Huntington. It used to be the Hispanic Center. I'm located in that building, and certainly you can stop by there and sign if that's more convenient for you. The only thing I ask is that you call or contact me first, because I'm not in there full time.
Okay.
So, just contact me, and I'll give my contact number is 870-931 8248.
Okay.
So if you're going to come by my office to sign or look at the House bill, you're welcome to do that as well, but just call first. Make sure I'm there.
You said 930-8248? No.
931.
Oh, I'm sorry.
931-8248.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm actually retired, so I don't work full time. I just, have a few little hobbies I dibble and dabble in, so I don't do that full time.
All right. So again, you can contact Mrs. Emma Agnew if you would like to sign the petition or discuss this proposal more, or talk about NAACP, which we're going to get into. Talking about, one, congratulations on your new role as president.
Thank you.
And so, what are some of the goals that you have outlined for the organization for 2019?
Well, let me say first that I'm excited about this role. I'm overwhelmed. It's pretty overwhelming, and I'm still learning. The NAACP does provide great training, great meetings for elected officers, so I'm still going through that training process and that learning process, but I'm thoroughly enjoying it, representing a community that I truly love and representing people of color that I truly love. But one thing, our first goal, and it's not just mine, it's the entire NAACP, is to build our membership.
Okay.
Listeners, we need you to join the NAACP. Numbers represent power.
Okay.
The more numbers we have, the more powerful your NAACP can be. If we only have a handful of members, that dilutes our power. Okay. Now, we do have the national and the state organizations behind us. But to be recognized at the national level as a chapter, you must have at least 50 members.
Okay.
And when I took over, we didn't even have 50 members. So the national level didn't even recognize us as a chapter.
Okay.
But since I took over, we are over 50 members now. But my goal is for us to be well over 100.
Yes.
And we need your membership to push those numbers up, but also we need folk who can attend. It's okay to join if you're not able to attend. We do have people who say, I'll join to support you, but I can't attend any more meetings. My plate is full. Well, that's okay. You can do that. But we do need some folk who can join and actually work, because there's a lot of work to do. And, if we have time, I want to talk a little bit about that in a minute. But as far as membership, it is $30 a year.
Okay.
Which is very cheap. $30 pays for the whole year. And I think it's $15 for students.
Okay.
young people. And then for children, it's just $10 a year. So your whole family can be members of the NAACP. So we ask you to think about it, and also I'm going to leave some applications here as well. And we do ask you to join locally. Please don't go online and join. You can join that way, but please join locally by contacting me for an application, or I'm going to leave some at the station to complete an application, or I can email you an application. If you want to contact me and, say, can you email me an application? I can email you an application, fill it out, and you can email it back to me.
Okay. I think that it's time again. We saw, and I don't want to keep going back to old days, but during the Civil Rights era, and I know this because I had to do research for personal and for school, we saw more combined efforts to make things happen. And at the time, the adults involved the children in a lot of things because things that were happening affected them as well. And so it's time for us to start that cycle again of informing and involving our children. Everyone that's able to read, write, needs to know what's happening in our society. We need to get past the adults are talking, kids go in your room and play. There are some conversations we do need to engage our children in, and because at some point they're going to be the leaders of our community, and they need to have a solid foundation that they can build upon and grow. I'm all about youth engagement.
I am too, and we really, our chapter right now is very slight on young members. So while we need mature adults such as myself, we are desperate for young people. So we're asking, young people, please consider joining the NAACP and being actively involved. But one thing that I want to address, and I have talked with Robin Kuykendall, is the chair of our Legal Redress Committee. And so she's going to be coming on. We're going to have a standing time, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. First Monday, I believe we discussed. So we're going to be sharing that time with Robin to talk about legal redress, because I think a lot of people are misinformed about legal redress and what the NAACP does. And I hear music, so it means time for a break. So maybe we can talk a little bit more about that.
Yes, ma'am. I just want to address Ms. Sean's comment. I think it's great. MLK Street is very much needed here, just as it is in every other town or city. Thank you so much. We'll be right back after these announcements.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
We're back with Money Matters. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. For those struggling to find a job or who need more income, working from home can seem like a dream solution. The key is separating legitimate opportunities from the scams that can make a nightmare of your finances. Never pay anyone for the privilege of selling products or services for them, nor to prove yourself qualified or eligible for a job. If they promise thousands of dollars a week for work that requires little or no time commitment, qualifications, training, or experience, look out. If a job or business opportunity sounds too good to be true, it is. Are there exceptions to the rule? Maybe. But con artists stay in business because their victims are all too willing to believe that they're the exceptions, only to learn the hard way that they're not. The best way to get past the scams to find legit work-at-home opportunities is to hold on to your money, do your research, and resist acting out of desperation. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. for Money Matters, a product of American Urban Radio Networks.
Money Matters is made possible by the Jonesboro Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, a nonprofit organization focused on joy in our sisterhood, power in our voice, and service in our hearts. www.jonesboroalumnidst.org.
Money Matters is brought to you by the Gears Foundation, a nonprofit organization providing students with assistance in their academic and career pursuits. Gears Foundation on Facebook, Gears_Inc. on Instagram, and the Gears Foundation at gmail.com.
Money Matters is brought to you by Bancorp South, offering checking, savings, loans, credit cards, and wealth management. 5 locations in Jonesboro to serve you. www.bancorpsouth.com or 870-972-9800.
Edgy Studios, 209 Union Street in Jonesboro, offers photography for portraits, weddings, and engagements, senior portraits, family and maternity shoots, and all occasions. Edgy Studios focuses on photography that is unique and outside of the norm. Owner Andrew Daly is available at 870-243-0308 or www.ejjistudios.com.
Check out Melvin Williams of the Williams Brothers every Sunday morning from 5 to 7 a.m. here on KLEK for the Melvin Williams Down Home Gospel Radio Show, playing the very best in quartet and inspirational gospel music that you'll love, as well as feature interviews with all of your favorite gospel artists. It's Melvin Williams Down Home Gospel Radio Show, Sundays from 5 to 7 a.m. on KLEK 102.5 FM.
The Mu Omicron Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated was established on January 1st, 1977, originally serving Blytheville, Arkansas, and now serving Jonesboro, Blytheville, Osceola, Marion, and West Memphis, Arkansas. Today, the chapter continues to make an impact by focusing on Alpha's national community outreach initiatives such as My Brother's Keeper, A Voteless People is a Hopeless People, Go to High School, Go to College, Project Alpha, Boy Scouts, and the March of Dimes. The Mu Omicron Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated is committed to Alpha's mission of developing leaders, promoting brotherhood and academic excellence, while providing service and advocacy to the community. More information about the Mu Omicron Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated is available at MOL Alphas on Facebook or via email at molalphas@gmail.com.
This portion of KLEK programming can be made possible by your business. Your support will help in educating, entertaining, and empowering the community by supporting local talent, serving the community you love, and providing information on issues you care about from a different perspective. Call 870-203-9951 or visit klekfm.org to learn how we can help connect you more with the community, or visit us at 1411 Franklin Street. KLEK 102.5 Jonesboro, educating, entertaining, and empowering the community.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
All right, welcome back to the last segment of Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. I'm going to give Mrs. Emma the floor and wrap up any information that we haven't discussed, and then go back over the things that we talked about in the very beginning.
Okay, thank you. So before we went to break, I was talking a little bit about legal redress. Okay. And for a lot of community people, when they think of NAACP, that's what they think of. Okay. Legal redress. And that's where, if you feel you have been discriminated against or treated unfairly because of your race, creed, color, sexual orientation, then you can file a complaint with the NAACP through the Legal Redress Committee. Okay. And that committee will decide if it is actually based on race, creed, color, sexual orientation, and decide if it is a case that needs to be sent to national. Okay. And so from there, that case goes to the national office, and the national office, if they will send a response back through the state level, and then the state will send a response to us as to how they want to proceed with it. Okay. So that might be, this is not a good case for us to take. It has no basis for us taking it. Not to say you haven't been wrong, but it's not what the NAACP deals with. So keep in mind what the NAACP deals with. Or they may say, yes, we will, and so we go from there. So I just wanted to kind of give that quickly. As I say, Robin is going to be coming on sometimes and talking about legal redress. We do not give legal advice. We do not provide legal representation. And things have changed a lot since the NAACP was started 110 years ago. Matter of fact, February the 12th, the NAACP will be 110 years old. The oldest civil rights organization in the world. But so now the NAACP stands for so much more than legal redress.
Okay.
So we have committees that also work on economic development, on criminal justice, on housing, education. So there are so many areas to fight in. Folks, the fight is not over. I think a lot of folks feel that the fight is over because of civil rights laws that were passed, but the fight is not over. I'm telling you, we're fighting every day, and that's why we need memberships. We need folk to join, and let's plan together. Let's be strategic about getting our organization up and running, and let's be strategic about what we fight for, when we fight, and how we fight. And so we're asking you all to join us. We need your membership. I can't say that enough, so please join, $30 a month. And thank you.
A month or a year? $30 a year?
$30 a year. Did I say a month? $30 a year. I'm sorry.
And I want to stay in, I recently started a panel talk show here at the station, and so I was talking to them about leadership, and I was trying to express to them, you're never too young to be a leader, but in order for our youth to be leaders and learn how to be productive, proficient leaders, they have to see a living example of what a leader is. So I really petition the leaders of our community to step up and be those examples, so that our youth have someone to look up to, an example to follow. It's time for us to be more professional and be about business.
Right. Yeah.
I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna get on my soapbox today.
Yeah, it's kind of easy to get on those soapboxes. I have to watch myself too.
But I'm just very passionate about our community as a whole, and I want to see everyone live the best life possible, live the best quality life possible, and have access to resources. But we have to do our part, though, to get to the resource. We have to show and express an interest in wanting to access those resources.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. So as we get ready to close in the 2 minutes, can you just restate a little bit about the Stand Your Ground bill?
Yes, the Stand Your Ground bill is a bill that is they're trying to pass it in the House right now in the state of Arkansas, which allows individuals to use deadly force to stop someone whom they feel threatened by. It doesn't say who they are really threatened by or who is about to endanger their lives. It just says who they claim they feel threatened by. And in most cases, it's going to be your word against theirs, and you're probably going to be dead. So it's going to be their word. So we are encouraging you at the NAACP to speak out against passage of this bill by emailing or calling the contact information that we gave you later and saying that you oppose it, you think it's a bad idea, and here's why I think it's a bad idea, and tell them why you think it's a bad idea. And then, of course, we talked about MLK having a street named in his honor. So hopefully you'll be hearing more about that soon. If you'd like to be kept up to date, you can contact me through the station or the information I gave you. I'll give my personal email right quick if I got time. Williams, WILLIAMS, Emma, EMMA, 62 at gmail.com. WilliamsEmma62 at gmail.com. So contact me if you'd like to be kept up to date, and I'll put you on a mailing list to send you information as it's available about the street, about the Stand Your Ground, et cetera, et cetera. Just send you a quick update.
All right, and then the contact information for Representative Aaron Pilkington is pinned in our Facebook Live feed, and this video will be uploaded to YouTube, so you can go back and watch it for those who don't do Facebook. So I want to thank Mrs. Emma for joining us today, and thank you everyone out there for listening and tuning in. Everyone have a safe and blessed day.
Thank you for listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues.